Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Today is a new chapter, Babu Tahrim al-Kibr, talking about arrogance and pride. This is such a disease that many people suffer from, some to extreme levels and some to not so extreme levels. But the scary part about it is that many times, because of the nature of the disease, we don't even recognize it, we don't realize it, and that is the most dangerous part. And we'll see why. Because it doesn't matter even if you have, even if it's to an extreme level or not, it is something that the Prophet ﷺ is warning us in this narration from today, that Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu narrates from the Prophet ﷺ, who said, لا يدخل الجنة من كان في قلبه مثقال ذرة من كبر. That a person, such a person who has even a mustard seed, the size of a mustard seed, something so small that you can barely see. If a person has even that much pride, even that much kibr, that much arrogance in their heart, that person will not enter Jannah. That person will not enter Jannah. لا يدخل الجنة. Now we see that how dangerous of a disease this is. It is one of the tricks of shaitan. It is one of the traps of shaitan. The ego, arrogance, pride, all of this falls under kibr. And what does that tell us? We know that the Prophet ﷺ told us that a person, as long as they have iman, they will enter Jannah. Right? As long as a person has iman, they will enter Jannah. But now we're being told over here that this person will not enter Jannah. So what if a person is a believer and they have this kibr in their heart? What happens in that case? Right? Obviously, a person will not enter Jannah with that kibr, so they will have to go through a transit where they will be cleansed. Right? A person will be basically put into Jahannam for a certain amount of time until that kibr is cleansed from their heart, and then they will enter Jannah after that. Right? So that shows us how scary of a disease this is. I'm not even going into the topic of kibr, because that's a whole lengthy topic in itself, but just understanding for right now of how dangerous this is. So a person, he asked, he was there when the Prophet ﷺ said this, he said, إِنَّ الرَّجُلَ يُحِبُّ أَن يَكُونَ ثَوْبُهُ حَسَنًا وَنَعْلُهُ حَسَنًا. That a person, sometimes they like that their clothes may be, nice, good clothes, beautiful clothes, and their shoes, and their dress, and different things about them, they like to have it that they're nice and they're elegant. So the Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ جَمِيلٌ يُحِبُّ الْجَمَالِ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is graceful, He is beautiful, and He loves grace, He loves beauty. Right? So that's not an issue. What's the issue? الْكِبْرُ بَطَرُ الْحَقِّ وَغَمْطُ النَّاسِ. And he summarized it over here in two things. That kibr, whether you call it pride, arrogance, whatever, it is, number one, you're denying the truth, right? Batar al-haq, you are disdaining the truth, you are denying the truth, right? Because of your ego, because of something in your heart, in your mind, you may think, or you may assume that you're at a certain level, or you are at a certain stage where the truth, when it comes in front of you, you cannot accept it, and the ego comes in the way. Let me give you an example. What happens sometimes, a person is, they're doing wudu in the wrong way, or they're praying salah in the wrong way, or we're doing anything, any example you can take, and a brother goes, nicely, with a good intention, they go to correct that person. What is the first response that usually we have? What is the first thing we do? We deflect it right away. Like, brother, you're going to tell me? How can you tell me? Just focus on your own prayer. This is our regular, reaction. What is that showing us? That we don't have that understanding, that capability to lower ourselves, humble ourselves, and accept that we were wrong. Right? This is This is one stage of kibr, of arrogance and having pride. And the other is ghamtun nas, being, looking down on people, putting people down, thinking that we are above, right? And this is another warning, or one other definition of kibr that the Prophet ﷺ gave. There is more detail to this, but this is just the beginning of the topic that we need to understand and realize, and we need to rectify within ourselves. If we have these feelings, if we feel like we have them, even if we don't feel like we have them, we need to check, because we can't take a chance. Even if one mustard seed is left in our heart and we pass away, that mustard seed, it's not like some kind of faulty security that will get into Jannah, right? That will be detected. So we have to make sure we cleanse ourselves from that. And subhanAllah, when we look at this Batr al-Haq wa Ghamtun Nas, we see that the situation that's happening in Palestine, right? What is one thing that we see all around the world, many places who are supporting supporting genocide, supporting different things against humanity, right? You wonder, how can a person support such a thing when the facts are right in front of you, right? But when the ego comes in front, you become blind, and even the most obvious things, you cannot see them. Subhanallah. Right? We talk to people, and like, even when I'm on, like, sometimes you look on social media, you look at the comments, right? Because that's where you can get an idea of what people are thinking. And you'll see people say the strangest things, subhanallah, and you can see that the ignorance is so much, and because no one has an idea of what, I may be wrong, let me try to open up my mind, stop being so narrow-minded, let me open my mind and see that what the other person has to say, and maybe I can fix myself. But because we're so full of ourselves, and many people are so full of themselves, they cannot see beyond themselves. So that's all they see. And all they see is the other person is wrong. And in that you end up ghamtun nas, you end up looking down on the other person, that what an ignorant person, he's trying to explain to me, I already know. Right? So subhanAllah, it's a clear example is right in front of us in this day and age. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cleanse our heart from all types of diseases. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fill our hearts with nur, and allow us to enter Jannah without any reckoning. Ameen wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. اللهم أنت السلام ومنك السلام وتباركت يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه، وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم إنا نسألك رضاك والجنة، ونعوذ بك من سخطك وغضبك والنار. اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها، اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها، أنت وليها ومولاها. اللهم إنا نسألك من خير ما سألك منه نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، ونعوذ بك من شر ما استعاذ منه نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وأنت المستعان وعليك البلاغ، ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون، وسلام على المرسلين، والحمد لله رب العالمين. برحمتك يا رب.